Hi everyone, welcome back to Berkshire Body Shop. We've got another project in which we're going to go through with you shortly and show you some pictures of it as we go along, some videos as we go along. This one is a 1955 f100 pickup. Now this guy's relatively local to us. His name's Mark. He owns he's a Land Rover and four-wheel drive specialist, and he has done pretty much all the work to it so far by himself. So well done, Mark. He has done a pretty good job, especially with all the fabrication he's had to do. There's actually more than you realise until you start looking into it and getting involved, how much work he has had to do to it. He's done it over a number of years, obviously as and when he can. It's running, I believe, on sort of Range Rover Air suspension, and it has an F150 Lightning engine that's going in it, so the V8 supercharged engine, so it should have plenty of go. He's done a drive fit of it. He drove it down to us so we can have a look at it when it was in like a primer with all the engine suspension in it, just to give it a bit of a dummy run. So that's all done. So he's going to, I believe, put it back together once it's painted. So we're going to have it in bits basically, and it'll probably have some suspension. It's just a rolling chassis, and then we can keep on trying panels on and doing any bits we need to do to it as we go along. So hopefully you'll see some of the progress as we go. It's going to be quite a big project. So it seems to be quite, I would imagine there's probably quite a lot of work to do to it, as it is an American pickup, so it's quite big. There's lots of parts to it. So I'm sure we'll find some bits as we go along. But there'll be some videos you'll see shortly of the process, obviously, which we need to use with regards to the Novel scheme that we have. So with the spray polyesters and the epoxy primers and etc. So we'll go through each stage and you'll see what's involved in doing something like this. So you know, these type of things generally do take quite a bit of time and effort to do. So hopefully you'll be able to see why it takes as long and how well it can turn out in the end. Hopefully we'll do the truck some justice, because I'm sure it will be a stunning truck when it's done, and hopefully do Mark some justice with all the hard work he's put into it. So please like and subscribe and be able to keep updated with all the bits we've got to do, especially to this truck and many of the others we've got going on. We've got some more projects coming up in the pipeline, so please keep your eye out for the videos of all the bits we've got coming up shortly. So thank you very much and speak to you soon. So these are all some of the panels which have been bare metal for the F100 pickup. I just thought I'd show you a video of all the panels that we have. This isn't all of them. There are a bunch more, and I'll do another load later. But it's just to sort of kind of like show all the work that does actually go into one of these. So it's all been they've all been shot blasted, and we've sanded them all back down again now, been degreased, and got ready, prepped and ready to go in the Novel epoxy primer, ready for me to do the body filler work and what have you. The wings and the bonnet aren't quite ready for that yet. They've been shot blasted, and we've had a few repairs, so I'll show you that when I put it in the red oxide. But yeah, so we'll just show you all these bits, and there'll be another run I'll do as well after I've done these, and it just goes to show just this is just the front end part, so there's a lot of parts to it and a lot of paintwork, so just goes to show what we've got to do. But yeah, see you in a bit with the next one. So here's some more of the panels for the F100 pickup. Wings in the bonnet and the rear wings. Right. All been shot blasted, and we've sanded them down to get them ready now for what I call the red oxide. It isn't actually red oxide, but it looks like it. But it's a temporary anti-corrosion primer we can use. But this one we can use and we can weld as well, because it's as you can tell, there's quite a few little holes we've got to sort out on this. As you can see, there's the bonnet, look. Quite a few bits that have obviously been found now we've had it shot blasted. So we've got to sort all these out. So the red oxide primer is here for us to, we can weld straight on with basically. It's a weld-free primer as well, so it's quite good. And then we'll re-epoxy a primer once we've done that. So we've got the four wings, two front ones and the two rear, and then the bonnet. And we've got slippery there helping me out degreasing them. And that is it for the minute, and we'll show you some more with the body of the truck and the chassis shortly, but this is how far we've got so far. And as you can tell, there's quite a lot of work to be done on these, so it'd be nice when it's done, but this is going to be a long process. Yeah, that's the stage we're at the moment, and we'll show you some more shortly. So here's Mark's 1950s F100 pickup, the cab. We've done loads of work on this, as you can see. This one It's been all repaired now. We've had to gap it up. The front end's all been on it, the back end's all been on it, all the side steps and what have you's all been on. It's had a lot of fabrication work on it, which is done pretty much all by Mark himself. He's done a good job with. So we've just finished off a few bits off, and then got everything all gapped up, nice doors open and shut and nicely and what have you, so it makes it a bit easier to put it all back together. We've just got it in there masked up, ready to put the spray polyester on. I've got a few bits where we've broken through, as you can see, which I've got to use the isolator with first before we start applying the polyester. But the cab's ready, the doors are ready. I've also got the wings, the lower valance and the bonnet done, but they will be in the next load, which I'll do a little video of you on, and then we'll do a video with this all put back together so Mark can come and have a look around it, make sure he's happy with what we've done with regards to gaps and everything and fitment of all the panels, and then it'll come back apart again and go for the final preps, final stages of prep to get it ready for paint. I think Mark's still debating on what colour to have the whole things. We've done a few spray outs, but he's still quite undecided, so hopefully when he sees it all back together it'll give a bit more of an idea of how it's all going to look, and I think we've got some more spray outs for him, so fingers crossed we'll get that sorted so we can get it taken apart and start getting it ready for paint. So there we are, the cab is all in spray polyester, ready for me to hang the doors and panels back on it so we can have another double check of all the gaps. I'll do a quick video of that once we've got them all hung on there, so you've got an idea of how it looks. That's how she's looking now. So all the inside of the doors have all been done, as well as all the outside. Try and get all the imperfections sorted out as best as we can, and is making this looking as good as new again. As the guy's quite keen to keep all the lines as sharp and straight as possible, how they should be basically. So, but yeah, so that's where it's sat at the moment. I'll do another video in just a sec with some more pictures of the wings, and I think there's a valance and a bonnet that needs doing. And then, like I said, we'll do one that's all put together, all in the spray poly, to give us an idea of how it's going to look and the gaps and everything, and then it'll be down to the final part of the prep, blocking it and getting it for primer. So here we are with some of the parts for the 50s F100 pickup. So we've got the two wings there and there, the lower valance over the back, and then obviously the bonnet, which we'll do inside and out of. The wings are getting, I believe, either stone chipped or wrapped and painted underneath, but the bonnet's being just obviously it needs to be as good as the outside basically. So we're going to spray polyester the inside of those, of that, and the wings will just they will get a coat of isolator primer and then hybrid primer, and then prepped and flatted and either wrapped or stone chipped, whichever customer deserves. We'll do a couple of spray outs of that to see which texture he prefers, and the same with the valance, I believe. But yeah, so the next bit we'll show you in just a bit once I've done these, and we'll polyester up, and then I'll put them back together, and we'll show you the front end of the truck all put back together with the polyester parts on. So here we are. All the panels are now fitted after it's all been polyestered. So the wings, front panel, bonnet and doors have all been fitted to the cab now. We're just checking all the gaps and they're all fitting. It's all got the catches in as well. So it all opens and closes quite nicely now. So, I mean, these trucks never had the greatest of gaps and stuff from the factory, let's be honest. They were quite commercial back in the day. As long as the door's shut, I think it was a bit of a bonus. So we've got all the gaps and everything where we want it to be now. So all sort of all inside's all done, inside the doors and shuts and the dash, as we showed you before when I had polyestered it. So we have had the rubbers in these as well, and they do fit. so which is a bonus. So that can always be a problem when they're fitting them back up again, so we try and eliminate as many problems as possible before we paint it. But yeah, gaps and things seem to be okay, and it's got a few bits of a finishing off, but it's not too bad, to be fair. There's a couple little bits, but most of it's pretty good. The bonnet, as you can see, is done in is a different colour to the rest of it. It is a polyester, but it's it's one which is used for aluminium, and they also recommend it for anywhere anywhere it gets hot. It's a bit better for the engine bays and what have you. So that's why we've put the bonnet in it, because it's got the engine out of a F150 Lightning, so the supercharged V8, so it's going to get potentially quite warm when he's driving around in it. So we thought we'd do the bonnet, and then maybe a couple other bits we're doing it, but that's why the bonnet's a different colour to the rest of it. So I'm going to now start flattening it with all the panels on there. Before I do so, we need to put a bit of guide coat powder over it. Now it is basically just almost turning the panel black again, but I will do this pretty much all over the whole truck, which has got the polyester on. And what I'll do then, just do this bit to give you an idea. But this is what we'll do over the whole truck, and then I'll block it all off. I'll do that over the whole thing. I won't do it all now, but I'll do it all over the whole thing. I'll give it a bit to cure off a bit, and then what we'll do, we'll block it all off with our 180 to start with, and then go down the grits, and then we'll get it ready for primer. Now doing this, when we start blocking it off, it will show up any imperfection, any low marks, any pinholes or anything like that basically, and we can also source out any lines if there's any lines or anything needs correcting on it. So that's what I'm going to do now. It'll all be black in about the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes and then I'll block it all back off again, and we'll go on with the next sort of process. I'll show you once it's all blocked off, but I'm going to block it all off with the panels on there to start with. Just double check everything again with the gaps and everything, and then it will come apart and it won't go back together again then until after it's painted. But we just want to double check everything once again before it goes to the primer stage. But yeah, that's where we are now with the 1950s or 55 pickup. I'll show you a bit more once we've got a bit more done. Flatten it, and what we're actually doing, I'll quickly show you. Hopefully you can hear me over the extraction. We've got the dust extraction. We've got a nice big long pinky block with 180 on it. We'll start blocking it off, and it'll start showing you where we're low, where we're not, and any sort of imperfections start to get shown up. A little bit of a block, and then I'll bring the camera over and show you. So let's have a look. So this is where we weren't, where we haven't blocked yet. This is where we have any sort of low spots or any sort of like the orange peel left or any pinholes and whatever you can see. Gone through it a bit there, but I was blocking it off. This is what it's for. So we need to block that a little bit more there, but we'll do this all over the vehicle. Once again, like I said, showing up any faults or imperfections we can deal with now before it goes into the final stages. So that's what we do now. I'll block all this off now, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards, and then any imperfections or any problems that I found I'll deal with, and you'll see. And then any bits I need to re-polyester again, we will. But yeah, but that's where we are at the moment. Fingers crossed, shouldn't take too long, a couple of days, and we'll be ready to show you some more of the next stage and where we are. And then obviously dismantling of it all, and then finish it off and getting it ready for paint. All good.
So Nick's rubbed all the polyester down on the f100, so now I'm going to prime it, and the only reason I'm priming it, not him, is because we just want someone else to go over it and see if I notice something that he might have missed. So as always, we're going to use the Naval products on it, so let me get this in some primer.
So Andy stayed on last night and primed Mark's pickup. We've now got to the stage where the cab's now got to come off, and the chassis then got to get stripped down and get painted. The underneath we've now also got to do, which is going to get, I think, raptored and then painted body colour. Pretty pleased with how all the panels and the bodies all come out, considering the amount of work we've had to do to it. It's had a roof chop and a few other modifications done to it, so there's quite a lot of fettling to do. So it's all back now, and well, it's all primed up and pretty much repaired. Mark, who owns it, done all the fabrication himself. He's done it over a period of time at home. He's done a pretty good job on most of it, to be fair to him, especially considering his fabrication isn't his job. He's done a pretty good job, I must admit. So it's at the stage now where this will we'll leave that to sit for a bit and settle before we start prepping it. But like I said, we've got the chassis to do next. As you can see, it's not looking too pretty yet. So we'll sort that out. We'll strip everything off, so it will be just a bare chassis. I believe the axle's going the same colour as well. And then Mark will have it back and start fitting all the chassis back up with all the bits powder coated and put back on, with his air ride that he's got for it as well, and getting all that assembled. And then we'll obviously paint the cab and the doors, put that back on, and then as we go along, all the other front end panels will be fitted, painted, and then fitted back up. So, but yeah, that's the stage we're at the moment. And the next stage will be stripping the chassis down and getting it ready for paint. There we go, guys. Just one other quick thing, forgot to show you around the prime pickup. Mark actually hasn't decided on a colour yet, so we've got some odds going. I don't know if you can see all that through Andy's dodgy handwriting, but he hasn't actually definitely chose a colour yet. We've gone through all sorts of spray outs and potential options, and as you can see, that's the odds we've got on what we think it's going to be. If anyone else has got an opinion on what he could do to colour of the truck in, to give him some inspiration, because he seems to be struggling, then let us know. And also tell us what you think the odds will be on which colour he's going to do it in up from up there. Alright, so let us know in the comments, like and subscribe, and we'll see you shortly.